Classic Fairy Tales, illustrated by Angeli. Rapunzel. Once upon a time, a husband and a wife were expecting a baby. One day, the wife looked out the window at the garden next door. She saw some lettuce which was called Rapunzel and suddenly wanted some to eat. I must have some Rapunzel lettuce from that garden, she told her husband. But that garden belongs to the most fearsome witch in the land. Still, if you want some Rapunzel, dear wife, I will get it for you, he said. That late night, the husband climbed over the wall into the witch's garden. Quickly, he picked some lettuce, but just as he was about to leave, the witch appeared. Madam, my wife is expecting a baby, and she craves this Rapunzel lettuce. He tried to explain. I will let you have some of my lettuce, which I have planted and which I have tended with such care. The witch replied, but I want something in return. When the child is born, you will give it to me. The husband never dreamed that she was serious, and so he agreed. Few months later, a daughter was born. What shall we name her? The wife asked as she and her husband admired their darling baby girl. Suddenly the witch appeared. Her name will be Rapunzel, and she is mine. Remember your promise? And with that she snatched the child and disappeared. As the years passed, Rapunzel grew to be a beautiful young woman. She had very long, golden hair, which she wore in a braid. The witch feared someone would try to take Rapunzel, so she locked her in a tower. There was only a tiny window at the top. When the witch wanted to visit, she would stand at the bottom of the tower and call, Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair. Rapunzel would hang her braid out the window and the witch would climb up. While Rapunzel was singing at the window one day, a handsome prince happened to ride by. He thought she was beautiful and wanted to talk to her, but he couldn't figure out how to get into the tower. The prince returned to the tower again and again. At last, one night he saw the witch called Rapunzel. He watched in amazement as she climbed Rapunzel's braid. At once, he knew what he had to do. The next morning, the prince returned to the tower to the Rapunzel. Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair, he called. Rapunzel's long braid tumbled down to the ground and the prince climbed up to her. Rapunzel didn't know who the prince was, but he told her that he was a friend. The two talked and laughed, and they both were sorry when the prince had to go. But day after day, the prince returned and soon they fell in love. Then one day, while they were visiting, a voice called from below, Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair. It was the witch. Rapunzel had two choices. She had to let the witch in. As soon as the old woman saw the prince, she flew into a rage. You will not visit my Rapunzel again, she shrieked, and with that she grabbed some scissors and cut off the Rapunzel's braid. Now go, she told the prince, bitterly shoving him out the window. Oh, no, please, cried Rapunzel as the prince tumbled down. She ran to the window and leaned out so far that she fell out of the tower too. Luckily, Rapunzel and the prince both landed in the bushes, safe and sound. They hopped onto his horse and galloped away without looking back. Right away, the prince took Rapunzel to see her long-lost parents. who were overcome with joy. They had missed their daughter terribly all the years that she had been gone. Not long after that, Rapunzel and the prince were married, and there was great happiness throughout the land. Rapunzel planted a beautiful garden near the castle where she grew lots of delicious lettuce she had been named after. She and the prince lived happily ever after, while the witch lived not so happily, locked up in her tower. And they live happily ever after. The end.